You are now listening to the No Cupcake Zone podcast, sponsored by CJ Noel Insurance Services, where you can find all your financial and insurance solutions. For more information, please contact cjnoelinsurance.com or call 239-403-8391. Make sure to also visit NoCupcakeZone.com for future and past shows. Enjoy the show.
It's your boy, Triple BLACK, a.k.a. the number one stunner, a.k.a. the boss, a.k.a. Naples Manor, River Park, and Golden Gate. All black, bitch. You already know what it is. It's No Cupcake Zone. It's your boy. I am so excited right now, man. I'm not going to take too much of your time. Real quick, man, go to Spreaker, go to iTunes, go to SoundCloud, rate, follow, and comment on my podcast. Also, man, this Saturday at Lely High School, a skills camp, a football skills camp, and a combine is going to be hosted by the Paul brothers, man, Gene, Matt, and John. And also, they're going to have a host of people out there. They're going to have Wale Gunlier, former Dolphin. They're going to have Ben Kelly, former Dolphin and Patriots. I don't know about that. Whatever. The Patriots. They're going to have Damian Gregory, former Buccaneer and Dolphin. Coach Bill Mallory, Walter James, a host of other people. Damon Jones, local legend, coach for St. John Newman High School. But look up the flyer. It's on my page. It's actually sponsored by the Bayshore Educational Club, or the website information is on my page. The first 300 Collier County students will get in for free. A whole day of football, running skills. And plus, you get to be coached by, people that's been there. NFL. What better? You know what I'm saying? To get your name out there, exposure, everything, man. I got Gene coming on. Not going to take your time. Quick commercial break, and he's going to be on the line, man. We chopped it up. Man, let me go ahead and run off on him.
Ran off on the floor twice.
Man, let me get another touchdown.
Ran off on the floor twice.
Hey, get the fish batter, because the fish greet is hot. Ha ha! Hey, man, shout out to Pyro, man. Shout out to Facebook, man. If I didn't give you a shout out, hey, I salute you, man. Everybody. Pimp Rod, Jeremiah, Doug Ray, Dog Pound. Special shout out to Tukey. That is my boy right there, man. Love that dude, man. I'll let your boy, man. Quick commercial break.
Have you ever asked yourself, what if something happens to me? How is my family protected? Will I be able to retire one day? Am I covered? Are my taxes filed correctly? These are all important questions that need to be answered. Visit the experts at CJ Noel Insurance Services for all your financial and insurance needs. Internationally known for their excellence, CJ Noel Insurance has proudly served the Naples area for over 20 years and is the #1 Blue Cross Blue Shield health insurance provider in the Southwest Florida area. Conveniently located in Naples at 2800 Davis Boulevard, Suite 208. Stop by or call 239-403-8391 for an appointment or a quote.
You are now listening to the No Cupcake Zone podcast, where there ain't nothing sweet. Hosted by your boy, Triple Black. Now back to our show.
Let's knock him in. I got the legend, the man, Gene Paul on the line. Welcome to the No Cupcake Zone.
Thank you. I appreciate the nice welcome there. I feel like somebody, bro.
Hey, man, you are somebody, man. Hey, people might criticize me and be like, man, you know, Naples is such a small place. Why you doing Naples? Ain't nobody care about Naples. This is all I know, bruh. 239. You know, it used to be the 813 and the 941, but it's the 239.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man.
Right about that.
Yeah. So you coming down, man. Talk about the camp. It's is it a one-day camp?
Absolutely, yes. It's a one-day camp sponsored by Bayshore and Gridiron. It's basically a camp. This is our fourth annual of doing this. We basically are trying to give a lot of the kids that are less fortunate an opportunity to get motivated by people that have been successful, in sports as well as in their academic careers, where they are now functioning as a model citizen, wherever they may be. So this gives them an opportunity to come out and see what it is. They get reminded of what it is to work hard and stay focused on their goals. We all have different goals in life. It may be athletics, it may be academically, or it may be just who you want to be when you grow up. You might want to be like your dad and be a doctor or a lawyer and so on. So this is just kind of like planting the seeds early in reference to motivating them and staying focused on how to be successful later on in life.
That's beautiful, man. Hey, it's a camp at, I don't want to say it, but it's at Lely, so whatever. It's a skill camp.
No hate, brother, no hate.
It's on April 9th at Lely. The first 300 kids get in for free if you're a Collier County student. So make sure to take advantage of that. You got the great Gene Paul. You got, is it Wally Agonlier? I can't say the name. Gunle. Wale. Also, you got Damian Gregory, Ben Kelly, a host of other names, and I apologize if I can't get through all the names. Also, Damon Jones will be there.
Yep. Damon Jones, also a Collier County legend.
Yeah, and it's going to be action packed. So looking forward to that, man. And I know you're pressed for time.
Yeah, I'm excited of coming down to go another year and see how much fun we'll have on Saturday at the camp. The members of the staff that put the camp in, it's our 4th year. Hats off to Damian Gregory. Damian Gregory and I go back since I don't want to say my age, but we go back to college, at Indiana University. Damian was one of my old teammates who later on played for the Dolphins, the Buccaneers, and a couple other teams in the NFL. Adewale Ogunleye, who was the Dolphin as well, made the Pro Bowl with the Bears. I'm proud and happy that our college coach from Indiana, Bill Mallory, who's also going to don't know about Bill Mallory, definitely was inducted into the MAC Conference Hall of Fame last summer. So definitely a legendary coach in the Midwest, if you don't know about him. And Ben Kelly played on the Super Bowl team with the Patriots. Clarence Love played on the Super Bowl team with the Ravens. So we have a lot of guys that have played and also experienced what it means to be successful and the hard work it takes to be successful. So I look forward to seeing all those guys again and also see all the kids down in Collier County. If you have not registered yet, please go to BayShoreEdCenter.org. Just click on the football flyer and then it will take you to the registration page. We cannot accept more than 300 kids. There's no charge. The camp is free. We're able to provide some lunch for the kids thanks to the local businesses that are helping. Of course, Hoosier Insurance is one of them, and many others as well. Just looking out to have a good time this weekend, basically.
All right, man. Hey, it's amazing how much you and Matt sound like each other, bro. Like you literally can get each other out of trouble. Like if you have a girlfriend or something like that, and one of you guys are busy,
man, don't say that. That don't even sound right.
You can literally get each other out of trouble, but because you guys sound exactly the same, man.
Yeah, well, I've heard that before, but since I'm the older brother, he sounds like me instead of me sounding like him.
Yeah.
Okay. What was that?
So where are you at, man? Are you in the A?
I'm currently in Philly. I'm flying down from Philly. It's funny. I live in Atlanta. I work in Philly. Every time I get a chance, I come down to Naples with the football camp, also basketball camp. And of course, my whole family down in Naples with a bunch of friends from growing up in middle school. Since I moved to Naples, went to East Naples Middle School, then to, of course, the Lely High School, and then went on to college from there. So a lot of childhood friends in Naples, as well as family, so it's always a great time to go back there.
Yeah, bro. Hey, talk about growing up in Naples Manor.
The Naples Manor, man. Man, it was, I can just say it was an experience. Growing up, of course, way back in the late 80s, early 90s, living in East Naples, Naples Manor. Parents were basically middle class parents that worked hard just to make ends meet, basically. So we all had goals and vision of having a successful life. So we basically just had to find a way to do more than the norm. If it was in athletics, education, or academically, just doing whatever you had to do to reach those goals. And the goals were basically to be the best that you can be. You can personally be as an individual, maybe in sports or academically.
Absolutely. Yes, indeed. So growing up, man, you came from Haiti. You were born in Haiti, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where, what's
Absolutely. I was born in Akaya, they call it, or it's called. Again, I came to the U.S. when I was in elementary school. For most of you all, I went to Little River Elementary in Miami. Then went to middle school, Horace Mann Middle School until 7th grade. Then I transferred to Naples and went to East Naples from mid-7th grade and then went to high school at Lely.
Yeah. When I talked to Matt, he said you and your older brother had to deal with Haitian Friday.
Haitian, oh. We've come a long way, man. We've come a long way. And looking back at some of those, you look at it's memories that, you'll never forget. But at the same time, we can laugh at now. It wasn't so good back then.
Yeah. So your first love, football or basketball?
Man, I'm going to have to say basketball. And the reason being, growing up in the Manor, you have, of course, original Zoe C.J. Noel. It was we grew up on Gilchrist.
He disputed. You can't dispute it. He's the original Zoe.
Yeah. Grew up on Gilchrist Street right there, and then CJ's on the next street over. I believe that's Barrett Street. But the neighbors, I have to say, my neighbors at the time was, you have Rickinson, Bowburn, Doxson Villa, Margaret Villa, Thomas. So they were the next door neighbor, and across the street you have Nick Smith. I didn't get to meet Dwight, which was his older brother, too much, but right there we had enough where we can go in the street and play football. We had a basketball court across the street where we could, in the summertime in the hot sun, we can go back there, and of course you have a bunch of teenage guys or boys that motivated, and with nobody wanted to basically quit. With that, they had nothing but fight in them, and we all were trying to beat the other person. So that competitive edge, I think, carried on to help us be who we turned out to be, especially when it came to high school, and the heart and determination to just win.
Yeah. Who were some of your idols growing up? Who did you look up to?
And late 80s, early 90s, everybody's idol was, if you're looking at sports, you're looking at Bo Jackson, football. Of course, Deion Sanders was just coming out of Florida State. And, he was something different. He could talk and he could back it up. And if you grew up in Florida, if you don't know how to talk trash, you're going to learn. You have to. You don't have a choice. Or you're just going to be the guy that, everybody gets to talk to, and you're just going to be there to take it, and nobody's really going to accept that. So you had that, and for basketball, everybody idol was Michael Jordan. So yeah. I think a lot of us growing up at that time, tried to do whatever Mike was doing is what we tried to do when we went on the court. If it was 21, tip out, team ball, whatever it was, we wanted to be Mike.
Yeah. Hey, when did you find out, either in football and basketball, like you had something? You're a young Haitian kid, and you're playing these sports. When was the moment that you figure out, hey, you know what? I am somebody at this, man. I could go far.
Very good question. We played, while I was at East Naples Middle School, we played Optimist. And, of course, at that time, you have Pine Ridge Middle School, East Naples, and, of course, other middle school kids who were playing Optimist basketball. So from there, once you start competing against the other kids, you find the love. But by the time I got to 8th grade, we figured out that, if I could work hard, I wanted to be the best that I can be. But in 8th grade, Coach Stewart used to leave at the high school. I know everybody down in Naples, Florida knows the legendary Don Stewart, one of the best high school basketball coaches I've seen, I know. And, if anybody that lives in Naples don't, then you haven't been around too much. But Don Stewart used to leave the gym open when they had open gym for basketball. He used to leave the gym open a little bit longer so we could ride the bus from East Naples, get off the bus, run to Lely, and start playing with the high school kids. So I give Coach Stewart credit for that because he saw we had some young kids in the community that was coming up that had some potential. So he left the gym open for us at least longer so we can get there and play a couple games with the older kids. So I think that kind of that's when the light bulb probably came. Hey, if you work hard, you over here, you in 8th grade, running over here and playing a couple pickup games with the high school kids. If you keep it together and work hard, you could be one of the stars that I
think we lost him for a second. Hello? I think I lost you for a second. Hello?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But did you play any Pop Warner growing up, football?
No, I did not. I didn't. Football basically came, I recall, a freshman year. I went out, and again, my next door neighbor, Doxson Villa and Thomas Villa, Rick Bowman. Rick was a very good football player that was playing varsity for Lely at the time when we were in 8th grade. So I had neighbors that were very good football players. And of course, you're a kid, you don't have to be good. You're just going to be out there playing. It doesn't matter. So of course we were playing flag football, tag, whatever, tackle football on the street. But I knew about it, but I didn't really play team until I got to high school playing football.
So it almost seems like you and your brother Matt, John probably was a different story, kind of almost reluctantly fell into football. It wasn't really, it was just something you guys were really naturally gifted at because of your height and your speed. Am I off base?
You're probably right with that. I mean, I don't have a better explanation than that. We were good athletes, and it was a good sport or fun. It was a sport that we could be good at. So the challenge came, just try to be the best you could be at it. Everybody else was playing it. You didn't want to be the guy that was at home or just that was going to be the cheerleader and not play when you could. So I guess I'm going to have to go with your answer on that one.
Okay. So football wasn't really like on your list, the top of the list of priorities.
Nah, when I was younger, no. It was definitely basketball. Let's go outside 21. Let's see who can beat the other. That's basically it.
Okay. Hey, talk about your transition to high school, man.
Well, basically the transition from middle school to high school, as I mentioned, was kind of easy because, of course, I had older brother John was at Lely. You had, of course, CJ was at Lely. My neighbors were all at Lely, and they were stars. Whatever sports they were playing, so it was a lot of exposure to Lely High School. Of course, it was really a good 7 to 10 minute walk from where we lived, but at the same time, it was motivation. Motivation is somewhere I was coming to next, and if you wanted to be part of, if you wanted to be an athlete, that was good, or if you wanted to achieve your goals and make a name for yourself in high school, there was enough motivation there to get you there.
Yeah. So playing varsity as a freshman, and I've heard from other people, that doesn't happen too much, especially with Coach Stewart. He's old school, coach. How did you make that happen?
Well, man, I really don't know. I think that I would love to see you and Coach Stewart on here and hear his side of it. But coming from East Naples and jumping off the bus and running to Lely to play pickup with the older guys. And maybe from there, I believe from playing with them for so long, getting beat up and not quitting, you find some heart that makes you better. You find some heart because nobody wants to keep getting beat up on. So you either get better or you get worse, like most people say. You get better or you get worse, and I happen to get better. And by the time ninth grade came around and basketball season came around, I think I was good enough to make the team.
This is no cupcake zone, right? So it ain't
right.
Sweet. You're being very humble and very modest. Who was the boy that you dogged out, you dunked on varsity that was like, man, this boy good? Tell the truth.
Well, man, I try to be as humble as I can, but
who did you do it to, man? There's somebody that's salty to this day that played on that varsity team that you made look crazy as a freshman. Who was it? Dunk on or just, lit it up? Somebody.
Well, I really can't remember, bro. I really can't. But I know one thing that a couple guys always remind me of. The City of Palms Classic, I believe, or it might have been my senior year. We played Miami Central, I think. I believe one of the Edwards brothers. I forgot his first name. It might have been Charlie. I don't recall the exact first name, but he, of course, had signed his scholarship to Kentucky, playing there, and they beat us pretty good because he had a team that was probably all 6'5" or higher, and those guys can shoot from anywhere. They beat us pretty good in the City of Palms, but I guess one of the things that most people remember and remind me of is we had basically a steal and a break, and he happened to be chasing the ball, and I just went up. It was kind of like one of those signature Jordan dunks. Then he tried to steal the ball, and he just happened to get caught. But if decent guys that are playing basketball, those things happen, man. If you got an athlete that could jump on a fast break, anything's liable to happen.
Yeah. Talk about in high school, man. Talk about a couple big games and some tough competition that you played against. Who do you most remember?
Well, locally, I have to give a lot of props to. We had so many athletes in Southwest Florida, so a lot of them that everybody remembers. Of course, you have the Jamie Germans, you have the Javon Curse, you have the Herschel Trotmans, you have the Meanis Millers, you have, it's so many of them. But from a basketball standpoint, you're looking at my freshman year, Naples High School. I give you guys props. Naples High School lost the state championship game, I believe by 6 points. But that team, as a freshman playing against that team, I think we lost to them 3 or 4 times that year. So you're talking about motivation because, again, they had a very good team. Shouts out to Coach Smith as well, who coached that team. They had a very good team, and they didn't get themselves out of their game. I heard the interview with Shaky Red. He was one of the members on that team as well. But they had a very good, and them 3 times that year. That was motivation going into the off season. You have, of course, Trotman BC always had them a good, solid team. They had a good coach, good, solid team. Early on that freshman year, we lost to them. I know we lost to them 4 times that year. So again, just from 2 hometown teams, we're looking at 7 losses from those 2 hometown teams my freshman year. And my goal was that was never going to happen again. It was never going to happen again. And I think after my freshman year, BC and Naples, they caught the wrath of that until I left high school.
Man, my Golden Eagles.
They did. And I believe my last 2 years, I don't believe we lost to BC or Naples. We just had to hand it out. And around that time, junior year came around. Of course, we've had 2 years of playing varsity. It's about time to basically, put a stamp on, hey, we're going to be the best team around here, and that's it. So, and I'm sure their focus was, they were going to be the best team as well. But at the same time, the team that had the bigger heart, or that was more determined, was the one that was going to win. Coach Stewart used to say, we had this thing we said right before every game in the final analysis, the mind triumphs over matter, and your will to win is greater than your skill to win. It's one of those things I kept with me throughout life. I think about now, you can bring that up and you can relate it to anything, basically. Your will to win or your will to achieve your goals is basically greater than your skill. You can have the skill without the will, you're not going to get anywhere. So that, kind of fueled a lot of us over at Lely.
Yeah. So what was different about that state championship run than the other years?
I think we had a team that had been playing together for over 2 years. And of course we went to summer camps, summer basketball camps and so on. And always played, pick up, school gets out, we're running and playing in the summer leagues. Back then too, we had one of the best summer leagues I've played in, over there in River Park.
Yeah, I was about to ask you about that. Very competitive.
Yeah, very competitive, and it was the place to be in the summertime. So you wanted to be on the team, and if you were not good enough, you're not going to get picked up. But that was one of those things, again, getting beat up early on. You're getting beat up by older guys playing in the men's summer league. You find some motivation in that. Again, the will to win, it was greater than the skill that we had. We had some skills, but we had the will as well. So that kind of helped us out.
Yeah. So when you were on the court, who did you think you were? Who was that player? You're gonna say Michael Jordan, but there's somebody. Hey
man, we all was Michael Jordan, bro.
Yeah, but there's got to be somebody that you padding your game off of.
It's hard to say, man. I can't find somebody else to say other than Michael Jordan, because we all wanted to be Michael Jordan. I was not Michael Jordan, but we wanted to be like Michael Jordan. So okay. even if you look nothing like Michael Jordan, to you was Michael Jordan. As long as the ball went in, you was Michael Jordan.
Yeah, man. So I take it basketball was like your real passion. But let's get to football for a second, man. Mm-hmm. One thing I remember, and it actually left a bad taste in my mouth. I think I was a freshman. It was a Coconut Bowl. And Lely was up big. And I think you guys might have been up like 40 to, I don't know, say like 15 or something like that. The game was in hand. Your brother drops back, throws, and this is late in the game. It wasn't even called for. Throws a fade. touchdown to you. I think it was like your senior year. And I think you might have been a sophomore or I want to say a freshman or sophomore at quarterback.
He was a freshman, yeah.
You guys, that was dirty that you guys did that to us. I don't even know who was the touchdown on, but I think you pointed at the crowd and ran off. It was,
man.
I remember that too, man.
We had some great battles, man. I think around that time you had D. Boykin. That was one of the better players that you guys had. Your star player over at Naples High School. Shout out to D, doing great things down in Naples as well with coaching football with the little leagues. Very proud of him as well. He was one of the guys that, of course, again, although we can be friends, but when season came and it was a crosstown rival game that, nobody was friends. So I'm sure they was in my face. I was in their face, and I just happened to get the best of them,
But why do you guys do that, though? The game was already in hand. They throw a fade touchdown to you. It wasn't called for. That's what I'm saying.
Well, again, you never know. It might have been a conversation that was going on throughout the game, and it was called for,
Yeah.
So I don't remember exactly what, but knowing how things were back in the day, everybody was really talking. I mean, it's not like today where you talking trash and you can go on Instagram and Facebook and post something and say something about it. Like back in the day, you had to prove what you was talking about.
Yeah.
And if you was just talking, nobody was putting up with that.
Yeah, I think it was one of those deals that, this is my brother's last game, and let me give one to him. I think that's what it was.
Hey, man. I don't know what it was, but I do recall your conversation with CJ, your interview with CJ, and he was talking about how, Naples is congratulations to Naples as well, and got a great coaching staff there, and I like what they are doing with the kids there. But it's a totally different program than back then. Like CJ mentioned, that we could say you all were somewhat the doormat for a little bit. Like my high school, my 4 years in high school in the Coconut Bowl, I think you all probably scored 30-something points in the Coconut Bowl. We outscored you guys probably 80-something to 30-something points over those 4 years. So my freshman year, you guys won 7-0, 7-6, I think. That was probably Freddie McCrary's senior year, I believe.
Oh,
I want to say it might be, but after that, you guys didn't win at all. I had some facts for you.
And we might have to take a short commercial break on this one. All right, we're gonna take a short break, man.
Yeah.
Have you ever asked yourself, what if something happens to me? How is my family protected? Will I be able to retire one day? Am I covered? Are my taxes filed correctly? These are all important questions that need to be answered. Visit the experts at CJ Noel Insurance Services for all your financial and insurance needs. Internationally known for their excellence, CJ Noel Insurance has proudly served the Naples area for over 20 years and is the #1 Blue Cross Blue Shield health insurance provider in the Southwest Florida area. Conveniently located in Naples at 2800 Davis Boulevard, Suite 208. Stop by or call 239-403-8391 for an appointment or a quote.
We be 8-ball and MJG with that player twister from the shot. Showing love in a major way. Trying to make that major pay. Staying away from tricks leeching. Them dirty freaks that be reaching. Trying to make me slip and get a grip on the grip I may speak. And all I wanna do is blaze. Peel the top and feel the heat from the sun rays. Thinking about the days when I used to walk up and down that ghetto maze. My folks got love for me, so real for me, they'll kill for me. I have tendencies to be high when I flow, full of that dope when I hit the dope. Primrose, aka the Fat Mac, got love for the ones who got love for me. Thug thug for me, roll bud for me, and if it come down to it, shed blood for me. Real to the end, me and my pen, falling in love all over again to a remix made by T-Mix. Eliminating tricks, spitting to this, getting with this. I really couldn't see that. I don't give a damn who you be, supposed to be. Can't nobody step to the SU. ABE, maybe we be the kings of the things these weak punks out here try to do. Open your mind, we got something for you.
Don't forget to visit NoCupcakeZone.com or Spreaker.com to subscribe. Now back to the No Cupcake Zone podcast, hosted by Triple Black.
We back in the building. You know, No Cupcake Zone, man. Rah, you killing us, man. You killing us, bro.
Man, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. You came up with this high school. We trying to go back and talk about it. You know, it was something in the past. I don't try to, but you know, it was one of those things, man. Naples High School is doing their thing right now. That's good. You deserve it because you had some rough times.
I'm gonna take.
You know, of course, Lely have some rough times too, but you know, I'm a proud Trojan, so yeah. I believe we're gonna turn it around and get back to where we used to be one day.
Yeah. So CJ mentioned that during high school, you and your brothers had a little bit of an ordeal when it came to immigration. Talk about that.
Well, I mean, it was an ordeal, but from our standpoint, I think my older brother, John, we probably had one of the best, we call it extended vacation, than anybody have ever had doing school. We were able to go back and straighten out some things, but at the same time, we were able to spend time with family, just hang out.
Okay. So it wasn't that bad. Hello? I think we lost him.
If people that are reporting what happened, you know, it comes across a different type of way. But I love that time, and I'm pretty sure John would say the same thing. We had a great time. Matt was just all over the place. I don't know what was going on with him, but Matt was just all over the place getting a 10 every day. So,
okay. So, talk about Don Stewart, man. What he meant to you, bro.
Man, I have a lot of respect. A lot of respect for Don Stewart. Again, you know, looking back now on a lot of experiences that things that you learned in high school from your coaches, college coaches, and then you come out in the real world and start working and trying to, you know, just trying to find your place in the world and what your skills are and what you're able to provide to the world, you know, and be a functioning body of society, a good one at that. And a lot of those experiences come from early on in life. You know, as a teenager, you are influenced quite a bit from people that you respect, like your parents, families, and people that you consider family that are, you know, an extension of the family. And Coach Stewart was an extension of family to me. Good father figure, very good basketball coach, had very good discipline. We all had to work hard, learn how to work hard. Nothing was for free. You had to work hard for what you got. And again, like I mentioned earlier, every night before we went out and played the game. You know, we say what we normally say. And the final analysis, your mind triumphs over matter. Your will to win is greater than your skill to win. And I think about that today, like I'm just spitting it out. And this is something I was saying way back in high school. So it sticks in your head and you remember those things and it formed you to be who you are today. So it definitely helped me be who I am today.
Yeah, that's what's up. So college recruiting, you had, you know, decorated football career, you know, on a winning note. and basketball was, decorated too. Talk about the recruiting things. How did you even come to the conclusion? Well, actually, you did something very unique. You went for football and basketball. Talk about that process.
Yeah, well, that process, of course, we all go through that process once in our life. And mine was kind of unique, as you mentioned. I was getting recruited heavily for basketball by a lot of schools. And football, again, I was one of those odd receivers that, back in the day, that's when Randy Moss, the tall, fast, lanky receivers that could jump, was coming into play. So I was one of those guys where, football coach, it's a mismatch. So if they can have somebody out there that can run, jump, and catch the ball, it's once you get down to the red zone, it's a plus. Yeah. So football I became, I worked hard, so I became a very good football player. And a lot of coaches saw the skills or the talent that I had and showed a lot of interest. I didn't really expect as much interest as I was getting early. But, as time goes on, you know your game, or you know what you do best. And the success that you're having on the field, it creates more momentum or more, I want to say this, more confidence in yourself. So the recruiting process became that. I believe, again, sophomore year, maybe going into early junior year, we started having schools come down to watch basketball games. And there were good schools, good Division I schools. So that kind of, again, fueled me again. The process for going to choosing which school did I want to go to when I went to Indiana. Of course, if you live anywhere in the country, in the U.S., back in the day, on Sunday afternoon, 1 or 3 o'clock, Indiana was going to be playing somebody. So, of course, everybody knew about Indiana basketball.
Yeah. They were going to be playing somebody, and your coach was going to be berating and referee, too. Get kicked out.
Well, I mean, it's one of those things that coaches being coached. That's his style, But, again, you didn't have to sell anybody on Indiana basketball. Everybody knew Indiana basketball. But Bill Mallory, who's great mentor, coach, who lives in Naples now in the wintertime, but awesome guy too. So I was able to have him as a mentor after football. But he was the guy that basically came down to Naples, was recruiting me heavily, and just sitting down with him, he became the one that I felt was more genuine. My family was respecting him. And when I went on the visit there, I had a good time. And then when we sat down and, he made the offer and what they could do, I basically was honest. I'm like, hey, my first love is basketball. I'm really trying to figure out what I want to do. I don't know what I want to do in college yet. Yeah, I'm a good football player. My high school football coach is saying, hey, you are a difference maker. They believed in my talents, but at the same time, my love was basketball. So it was like, hey, I don't know what I want to do yet. I still want to play basketball in college. That's what I love to do. And the opportunity came, what if we were able to, get you to play basketball? And I went up on the visit, talked to Coach Knight about it, and it kind of went from there. I believe I had visits at Georgia for basketball the next week, or it might have been Ball State or something. But at the time, I mean, it was a place that I felt like I needed to be, and I'm so glad that's the place I decided to go. I wouldn't exchange it for anything in the world.
Yeah, well, you had probably quite an experience out playing football and basketball in Indiana. You know, you had the great Bob Knight as your basketball coach. Is he anything as what the media makes him out to be?
I'm going to put it like this. My experience, because we all have our own experiences, my experience was Coach was one that cared about the players that played for him. He would go to bat for them. And if we practice, had a game plan, we practice a certain way and you did it a different way, he's going to let you know about it just like any other coach. Okay. So I just leave it at that. That's the best way I can explain it. But it was a blast playing for Coach Knight because wherever we went, wherever we played, we know it was going to be a sold-out crowd. And the more people that are there or against you, that's more motivation for you to do what you do best.
Yeah. So he wasn't an asshole like they make him out to be.
Nah, bro, you said that. I said he was going to do what every other coach would do, is get on you when you do something you're not supposed to. Everybody have their own style, and he had his own.
Yeah. So
that's the best way I can put it.
Yeah. So you had a great, basketball coach, but you also, in football, I know you're quite fond of Coach Dooley, but you had a chance to play for a young Cam Cameron back in Indiana.
Absolutely.
How was that
Coach
experience?
Cam Cameron was flat out one of the best guys I know that knows his X and O's in reference to football. Like, Coach Cameron can make a star out of you if he wants to. That's basically the Coach Cameron in a nutshell. He's an offensive genius. He can find a way to get you going, regardless of what the situation is. My experience with him, Coach Cameron also played football and basketball in Indiana, so we kind of had that in common. Very good guy. He had his runs with the NFL, and I know he's the offensive coordinator for LSU right now, but had a long history of, success in the NFL and also in college. I know he was the offensive coordinator for the Chargers when, LaDainian Tomlinson and I think Drew Brees started out with them one year, and he became the Dolphins head coach for a hot minute, and then was over with Baltimore and so on. So, very good coach, knows his X and O's. If there's anything I remember most about Coach Cameron, it's his ability with his X and O's and getting whatever he wants to get, either out of the defense, out of the offense, or to maximize the potential of his players.
Yeah. Man, you had quite just being from being a spectator, you played in the Big Ten, football and basketball. And I was looking at your schedule because I did a little bit of research. Like, you played teams like Duke, Michigan. This is after Fab 5, but they were still pretty good. And you played against Michigan State, UConn. Rip Hamilton was on UConn, and you played against the Flint boys, Mative Cleaves, Peterson, and I think Zach Randolph. Talk about an experience. You actually even played against Charles Woodson when he won the Heisman, I believe. And Tom Brady was I think he was a quarterback.
With Michigan, yeah. Man, I mean, like I said, man, my college experience was awesome, man. I think I made the right decision by going to Indiana, not only for athletics, but academically. I feel at this point in my life that I am happy that's the decision I made because of the contacts. Shout out to all the Hoosiers out there. All the contacts that I've made and the abilities that it provided, the possibilities, abilities, and opportunities that I have in life now because of the decision that I made. So I'm very happy with it. But I feel like my college career, I feel like I've lived a good life. I had a great college career. The ability to play two sports and experience both of them. We did play a lot of the big name schools because we were a big name school. So I hate to keep it, keep it down, but I'm just humbled about the whole experience myself.
Yeah. Herschel told me he played against Charles Woodson. Because sometimes, when you're on the field watching TV, it lies. But he told me Charles Woodson wasn't a lie. That guy was everywhere. He was smart. He knew what every play was going. Did you get a chance to be on the field with him?
Yes, I'm pretty sure I can remember a Saturday morning we played at Michigan, and I believe that was his senior year or the year he came out where he was playing both ways and so on. So, of course, we're playing it at Michigan, big game. We had a very good coach. Coach Mallory was still coaching at the time before Cam Cameron. Had a very good game plan, and at the end, your stars make plays. And he happened to make a play that basically broke the game open for them. But I agree with Herschel. I remember it might have been Herschel's sophomore year or freshman year that they played at Michigan. So he did have that experience as well. But, Charles Woodson, he's going to be a Hall of Fame. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame in the NFL, so you can only imagine that he wasn't just doing it in the NFL. He started, I'm pretty sure, awesome high school career, and he had a great college career at Michigan as well. So,
well, you played shooting guard, so Mateeve Cleaves, you must have saw him play. I couldn't understand how somebody was so good in college, but was so, I can't say he was sorry, but it did not translate. Do you remember playing against him?
Mateeve Cleaves, put it this way, basketball players, Mateeve Cleaves played for Michigan State. Tom Izzo has a great program and gets the best out of all his athletes, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes the transition from college to the pros, where in the pros, again, it's more isolated with your skills, where in college it's more of a team. It's more of a family oriented atmosphere, right? That gets the whole team going. So I don't know exactly what happened. Sometimes politics plays a lot on a lot of things too. So I can't really say why his career in the NBA is not the same as it was in college. Mm-hmm. But again, you get to the NBA, man, you playing with, my team was probably 5'10". You looking at 6'8", 6'9" guys that are playing point guard or shooting guard. Like, it's a mismatch. It's all about creating an advantage for every player. And if the advantage you're not holding up to your end of it, it's not going to grant you a lot of playing time.
Yeah, you're right. So, you were 1 year away from playing with Antoine Randall, but I heard you play with his brother. Was he any good?
Right. Absolutely. Curtis Randall, man, very good guy as well. Shout out to Curtis, still living out in Pittsburgh. Curtis was just as energetic and aggressive as Antoine was on offense. Curtis played defense, a defensive back. Was a very, very good player, a great defensive back. Could have been in the NFL as well, had some issues prior during his senior year. So sometimes situations pop up. And I tell a lot of people that could have made it to the pros, didn't make it to the pros. Sometimes it just wasn't meant to be. It's not because you didn't have the skills. It just wasn't meant to be for you.
Okay.
So I feel that way for Antoine. For Curtis. But Antoine had a great career. He was Prop 48 my last year at Indiana. But you could tell he was a gifted athlete, very fast, could go. It'll take him about 3 seconds to get to full speed. So, a very good, skilled athlete.
Yeah. All right, man. Before we wrap it up, man, we got the camp coming up. You got a gun formerly Dolphin. He played with JT. They had a monster defense back then.
JT, Zach Thomas,
yeah, I'm Dolphins.
Yeah, them boys, they did their thing. Yeah, that was the Dolphins for sure.
Yeah. Drop a jewel on them, man. Drop a jewel on the youth before I let you go.
Well, we're just going to try to keep it simple. Bayshore Gridiron, 4th annual football camp this Saturday at Lely High School. Camp starts, registration starts at 9:30. Camp will go to about 2:30 this year. We're doing something a little different. We're going to have in the afternoon an NFL style combine where we'll time and test the athletes, and after we've gone through some drills with them, and then in the afternoon we'll test them with their time in the 40s and the shuttle run and all that stuff to give them some motivation and also get them ready. I know spring football is coming up in South Florida. So if you are listening to this, make sure you go to BayshoreEdCenter.org and register to make sure you come out there this Saturday. We're going to have a lot of fun.
All right, man. Hey, thank you for blessing this podcast. I know you were pressed for time, and I stole a little bit of extra, man, but I greatly appreciate that, man. Thank you for coming on No Cupcake Zone, man.
Hey, man, thank you for having me. And also, congrats to you, too, for having this podcast. I know you're reaching a lot of people. I don't have a chance to come down to Naples often, but I've been following as well. And shouts out to, Shaky Red, Herschel Trotman, Matt, Donald Joseph, CJ, everybody else that came on before me. It definitely was a great time. Just sharing memories with you and you bringing those memories back, that keeps them going. So the younger cats that don't know anything about, the history of Naples, you definitely reminding them or teaching them something that they don't know. So shouts out to you.
Yeah. If you don't know where you've been, you don't know where you're going. So
absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right, man.
And thanks again for having me, brother.
Yeah, no problem,
right,
man. Anytime, and I'll probably see you at that camp, man. I'll be there Saturday.
I'm looking forward to it.
All right, man. You be easy, man. Good night.
All right, see you soon.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. That was Gene Paul. Great interview. And I stole a little time. He was only supposed to be here about 30 minutes, but hey, we made it happen. Hey, you guys, go to my Facebook page. I got a link to the football skills camp. Actually, I got a flyer on there. Look up Matty Paul. He has a flyer and some information on that. Also, look up Bayshore Educational Club, but support that. Also, check out CJ Noel Insurance Services, my sponsor. Get a free quote. Man, he's the #1 Blue Cross Blue Shield healthcare provider in Southwest Florida. So taxes are actually coming up April 15th. Next week, man, I'm going to have a great show. I always have a great show. Got another one coming. Check out an episode I'm going to have with the Lely High School coach, Maurice Belser. I hope I'm pronouncing it right, but he's going to be on the show. Big things coming. I got D. Boykin's 50 shots coming. Bye. Hey, shout out to John Doe Shiggity. Juice Box and Michael Forbes going in show with D. Hey, big things happening. We want to collaborate sometime. But anyways, man, enjoy this hit that I'm about to play. Holla at your boy.
Make sure to tune in next week for our all-new episode of the No Cupcake Zone podcast. Don't forget to go to NoCupcakeZone.com to subscribe to this podcast.
Make the people say, make the people say. Look out now, here he come, he back in your face, let me go again. Make the people say, make the people say. Look out now, here he come, he back in your face, let me go again. Make the people say, make the people say. Look out now, here he come, he back in your face, let me go again. Should give, load him up, hit him where it hurt. Leave him in the front yard under the dirt. Hood rich when I put the nick to a 20. Now I gotta drop 6, spinning on ticket. Winnie the Pooh, roll. Cuban cigar, all they really wanna know. So we are, we stop traffic when we walk. See through fake niggas when they talk. Left the block before I got popped. Stuff the socks and put the rest in the pot. A lyrical onslaught, stronger than straight stop. Slab too hot, stand in one spot. Folks disappearing like Van Damme. Hit the city and your body like blam. New York, LA, make your people say. Throw your hands in the sky in the dirty. Make the people say. Make the people say. Look out now, here he come, he back in your face, let me go again. Make the people say. Make the people say. Look out now, here he come, he back in your face, let me go again. Make the people say. Make the people say. Look out now, here he come, he back in your face, let me go again. How many shows and how many states and how many roads and how many alleys and how many hoods left to come to? Mr. Supreme, Mr. Get Down, Mr. Lifetime Guarantee. When it's time to bust, y'all hush, skip, hop, block your block, cordial shot, major swap. How many people gon' flip the flop? Call the cops, took me a minute to get it together, I'ma take my spot. Say, make the people say. Look out now, here he come, he back in your face, let me go again. Make the people say. Make the people say. Look out now, here he come, he back in your face, let me go again. Make the people say. Make the people say. Look out now, here he come, he back in your face, let me go again. Make the average motherfucker wanna strut light, show up in the all car, full cut light. Switch your blood from a dust to a sweet light, drop a cool to the sauce, nothing but a king light. Navigate with my knee, no hands right, never turn the corner loose, gotta keep my head tight. Make the people say serious, it's gunplay, threw up in the hallway, the lyrics from yesterday. Make the people say raise the roof, make the people say speak the truth. Make the people say we love you, dear. Keep doing what you're doing, no trill. Make the people say teach the kids that they don't have to kill to live. I'ma talk it to her till my last real. And hope God bless me in my last day. Make the people say. Make the people say. Look out now, here he come, he back in your face, let me go again. Make the people say. Make the people say. Look out now, here he come, he back in your face, let me go again. Make the people say. Make the people say. Look out now, here he come, he back in your face, let me go again. If you never understood, after this one you gon' have to understand. Once I get it in my hand, I'ma rip that thing, put it off on my head, I'ma tilt that thing, get it off in the mail, zip lock that thing. 12 on the way, somebody pop them things. Make your girlfriend wanna drop them things. Turn the world out every time, make the world sing. Make the people say. Make the people say. Look out now, here he come, he back in your face, let me go again. Make the people say. Make the people say. Look out now, here he come, he back in your face, let me go again. Make the people say. Make the people say. Look out now, here he come, he back in your face, let me go again.